Teachers are not backing down, as this evening the national president of the Belize National Teachers Union, Luke Palacio, announced that the teachers' industrial action will continue on Tuesday. The decision to extend the strike up to Tuesday came after the Council of Management of the BNTU met today at its national headquarters in Belize City. The teachers have already been out of class for an entire week, so what made them decide to take it into next week? Well, according to Palacio, they are patiently waiting for Prime Minister Dean Barrow's formal request for a meeting. If they do not receive that request by a telephone call or a letter, then the strike will continue until they do.
Our Council of Management wants to make it known to the media and to the public in general that despite the propaganda being spread that the Prime Minister has invited us to a meeting, to the negotiations table, there has been no such formal request. Not in writing, not via telephone call. We heard that, like all other Belizeans did, when he had his video launched on some 2 Sundays ago. We take this opportunity this evening to call on the Prime Minister to set a date, a time, and a venue for a meeting so that meeting can be held. Because like we've said before and we continuously say, the doors remain open. However, until that meeting is convened and the BNTU obtains a level of satisfaction from the responses or the outcomes of such a meeting, our members will remain on strike.
Palacio says they are expecting to hear from the Prime Minister very soon. And while they wait for Barrow's formal invitation, they are demanding that Wilfred Elrington, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, make a public apology to all teachers for the comment he made earlier in the week. In an interview aired on Love News, Elrington said that, quote, "It is not my understanding that they have the remit really to take on all the issues of the country. I don't even know whether they have the wisdom or the ability or the competence to deal with those issues," end of quote. It was that particular statement that infuriated the teachers to the point that Ruth Schumann of the Corozal branch demanded that Elrington apologize for uttering those words.
I think over the days we've seen the bashing of teachers. We have had to face some serious hurdles on the media. But the one that really has us taken aback is to have Minister Elrington attack us personally. It was shameful. It was a sad moment in history for Minister Elrington to go publicly and state that we lack the wisdom, the ability, and the competence to tackle these issues. It was shameful, and especially knowing that his sister and his wife were once teachers. It speaks volumes of his character. So today, on behalf of all the teachers in this country, we are demanding a public apology, and we will not stop until we get that.
He had teachers who taught him. He had teachers who continue to teach how we are governed in this country. We as teachers ensure that we look at the national good. And I cannot agree with anybody who would try to justify what Minister Elrington said. That is vintage Mr. Elrington. Every time he opens his mouth, the first thing he says, Belizeans don't understand. It seems that he's the only man in this country that has understanding. It seems that the government persons, the elected officials, are the only persons who have understanding in this country.
Further, in his statement, he also made mention that teachers should only be looking at salaries or in the interest of things that affect teachers directly. He is indirectly telling us that we lack the competence to look at anything else other than issues that affect us in the classroom. And we are intelligent people, and internationally, we are respected and we are known for standing up for national issues, internationally. And now here comes our minister and insult us by telling us that we should be limited to issues in the classroom. So don't come and try and twist his words around to me.
So far, we have seen several unions and associations coming on board with the BNTU and expressing solidarity. One very important group that the BNTU is hoping to obtain its full support is the Belize Chamber of Commerce and Industry, BCCI. The BNTU wrote to the BCCI requesting that it encourage its members to actively show their support to the teachers. Palacio says that they will know if the BCCI will come on board next week.
Yes, we have written to the chamber because, again, like we have mentioned in the media, on the 30th of September, we met with the Chamber of Commerce and Industry, again, to give them our side of the story, if you will, as it relates to what has been going on. And we have agreed that, yes, we will maintain dialogue. So we wrote to them asking them to what type of support they could give that would be a little more visible as opposed to just verbal. And they have invited us to a meeting, a special general meeting that they'll be having next week. At that point, we'll know what type of support they are prepared to lend and how that will play out.
Tuesday will make 6 days that the teachers will be on strike. But for the teachers, strike action does not only mean not going to classes, but being proactive as well. Palacio explained their plans for Tuesday.
On Tuesday, as a part of our strike action, our teachers will be engaged in community service projects as well as a public relations campaign as we make it known that demands that we are making on the government of Belize is for the national good. It is for children yet unborn. It is, as we continue to stand up for Belize, to say to the government, it is time that you listen to the people. We did not elect persons to be rulers. We elected them so that they could govern in a manner that would be beneficial to all our citizens. And that cry continues to go loud and clear, and I'm certain that based on the kind of support we're seeing throughout this country, the country is fully behind the move of the Belize National Teachers Union.
The Roman Catholic Chancery issued a statement yesterday in which they start by stating their support for the demand of good governance. The release echoed the call of Papal Nuncio Archbishop Leon Katenga, continues by asking the teachers on strike and supporting students to get back to the classroom. The Catholic Chancery states that since the government has shown a desire to renegotiate, the education of young people and children should be the primary concern. The release calls on the teachers to use other means other than strike to pressure the government. Today, after the Council of Management meeting, First Vice President Adelaida Guerra told the media that the BNTU feel disrespected by the Papal Nuncio.
Talking on behalf of our teachers who are on the Roman Catholic Diocese, it refers to the, as all of you know, that a press release was sent from the Bishop and the Diocese of Belize, and that press release has been thrown about, and even the call of the Papal Nuncio coming to our country. And so our concern is what we want to say here on behalf of our teachers is that we support what the bishop said in that letter, in that press release. We know that the bishop was supporting us, but he was not telling us to, he was not, what he advocated was that parents need to use their discretion as to whether they will send their children to school or not. That is what, and we are thankful to the bishop. We are very grateful for that press release. And we are concerned because that has been discredited and it has been used in different ways. But we just want to assure, one concern we have is that whenever the Papal Nuncio came, he did not seek audience with the BNTU. And he came, had whatever meetings he had, and no meeting with the BNTU, which we feel was a disrespect to us.
The release also calls on the BNTU, other unions and other social partners to ensure that the reforms